Alert, alert, this is Charlotte Shotgun.
It's Joel Tatum, and it's that Little Gay Talk Show.
All the way from Houston, Texas.
Let's get into it, girl.
Now, I know it's that Little Gay Talk Show online. We're going to work out the music issues because I know that y'all can't hear that. I know that no one can hear that. You can only hear it through my headphones. I don't even know if Spunkmeyer could. Spunkmeyer, could you hear the music? No, Spunkmeyer couldn't even hear the music. So I'm going to have to work out some issues and watch a few more, tutorial videos or something to try to figure out how to make sure that the music plays. So it's another episode of that Little Gay Talk Show, y'all. My guest today, my guest host is Mr. Spunkmeyer Brown. How you doing, Spunkmeyer?
Good.
Mm-hmm. What's going on in your world? Play us a little music on your new keyboard. What music did you learn how to play?
I forgot how to play.
Okay, that's actually not bad. if you.
I mean, I just know chords.
Okay, you know what? It sounded like you're about to announce the 7th inning of a baseball game.
It does sound like that, right?
It does sound like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been for a little while. We're going to start live streaming the show here in January. So I've been working out some little issues with how that's going to happen, and right now we're just doing it on my phone. I'm eventually going to do it on the iPad, but I'm going to have to work out a couple of issues because it was not working. The pictures were perfect, everything except for the fact that there was a little bit of lag. So I don't know if the lag was on my end. Maybe I need to adjust for the internet settings here, or if it was on Spunkmeyer's end. But we had a little bit of a lag. So we were, but maybe just by a few seconds. It's not like we're Cyberpunk 2077 or anything.
Wait, is this the show or are we still testing?
No, we're doing the show.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're doing the show because I'm like, fuck this. Fuck this. We're doing the show because
live.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, we're doing a test stream on Facebook Live, so I'm not going to release this until I'm okay that the video's okay. Because like I said, we're just testing out a few things. I know because here's okay. So for those when I do put it out, so here's a title screen that I worked on. There we go. And it's that Little Gay Talk Show, y'all. And then I can and then I can do things like let me see where it's at. Oh, let me see. I could put look. Mm-hmm. Oh. I could put all our social media stuff there. There's all there's all my social media stuff there. I had a couple other things that I had on the iPad that are not on my phone that I'm not fixing to dig up. But for those of you who normally listen to the show, Charlotte Shotgun has been super busy. She has been doing drag for the last 2 weeks. She has been performing at so many shows and has so much stuff going on that she has not been able to be on the show. She probably won't be back on the show until the first week of January because she really has a lot of stuff going on. And if you don't know who she is, I got a few pictures. I'm gonna pull them up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about because this is her out and about, and she makes a lot of her own stuff, so you can see what's going on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, let's do A. Okay, so there we go. There's her
nice,
which is very dark, but I like that little pink outfit which she made herself. She put that together, and then we have. Then we have the next one, which is, her at the Eagle in Houston, Texas, just doing her thing. So, and you can see up close that's going on, and you can see that working at the Eagle. She's got doing her little shots because she's like the shot girl for a night or two. And then this is her once again doing shots. I think she's still at the Eagle, and I think this is Ripcord. Yeah, I think this is I think this is Ripcord. This is when she was doing one of her performances. She's doing delete alt. Control Alt drag on Christmas Eve. So y'all need to check that out. I'm gonna actually go up there and pay her a visit.
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night. It starts at 10 p.m. and she is the master MC of the whole thing. Her and her co-host, Funky something or other, I forget. So it's a good time. It's a good time. He's going to be. I think we're going to have him on the show here soon. I'm trying to put things in the. There we go. Because we couldn't get because you were just looking at, and you were looking at the handsome face of Spunkmeyer Brown there for just a few minutes. I did get a new pair of glasses, but the problem is that they're single lens, and I needed the multi, so I'm gonna have to send them back. Although I do look cute. Let me put them on so you can take a look.
Wait, you need bifocals?
Yeah, I guess I needed to get bifocals. I mean, I can see out of these glasses like from far away, but you're all blurry right here. So
see, they look the same as the glasses you just took off.
No, I mean these are the black. They're black frame. They have a black frame, and then they have a little gold underneath. Where the other ones are blue. They're all blue. See, these are all blue. So yeah, I know it looks black on camera, but trust me, these are blue, and then these are black with the gold trim underneath, which I think I look pretty cute in. I mean, if I really want to nerd it out, I think these are the glasses for me. But I'm going to return them because I need to get the bifocals instead of the. I don't know why I got single lens, but I put in the prescription and everything else, and for some reason it came up single lens. So I'm going to have to return them. I might have to pay a little extra because bifocals cost a little more, but I don't really care. As long as they change out the lens, that's fine. So, do
you have those like progressive bifocals, or is this?
Yes, on the pair that I'm wearing right now, I have the progressive bifocals. So.
How do you feel about that?
I like them. I don't have to. I still, amazingly enough, still have to take my glasses off to read every now and then. But I can read with these on, so it's not like with these pair. Everything is just so blurry when I try to read. But if I want to see like across the street or what have you, I don't have a problem. And actually, I can function in these glasses okay, as long as I don't have to look at my phone or anything up close. So I'm actually okay in these glasses if I'm like out and about, but I need just regular glasses to wear, you know.
It seems like you could program your phone to like be blurry enough to where you could read, right?
I don't know.
Does that work that way?
I don't usually touch the accessibility features on my phone, so.
No, I don't think it's an actual feature. Mm-hmm. I don't think you do that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't usually touch the accessibility features on my phone. I mean, I don't make the fonts any bigger or whatever. Now, I know my cousin Marcus was playing around on my phone, and he increased the font size on my phone by accident. And I had to go back in and fix that. I don't even know. He doesn't even know how he did it.
He settings.
Yeah, I know. He did. He swears to God he did not go in the settings. That all he did was tap the screen and he did something. And then the font size.
You can do that if you pinch it. Uh-huh. Sometimes they like have that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, I think what he did was that he, with iPhones, they're a little sensitive. So I think he pinched it and. He was trying to read some. I gave him my phone because I wanted him to read something, and I think he was trying to zoom in or something on the phone, and he ended up actually increasing the font size. Because I'm like, oh my God, Marcus, how blind are you? The fonts, the letter N is almost the size of my whole phone. I mean, what are you doing? It was. He just, I don't know what I did. I'm like, well. I had to go back into accessibility to fix it. So it was Yeah, and it was the first time I'd ever used that feature. I don't have a problem with hearing. I don't have a problem with my sight. I mean, because I wear glasses. I mean, I obviously have a problem, but I wear glasses for it, so I don't really have a problem with trying to change anything on my phone. I can pretty much read everything. When I'm reading news and stuff, though, I do have to zoom in just a little bit to kind of get the words to be a little bit bigger. But for the most part, I don't really have a lot of problems when it comes to that. So, I'm just doing my thing. So if you are, when I do put this out on Facebook Live, I'm trying to decide if I don't want to do a full episode every time we do the show. So I think we're just going to do like 30 minutes on Facebook Live on our webpage, on our Facebook page. And then you have to listen to the rest on the, like a teacher. Yeah, because I don't want to give you too much, because we're also going to be doing some Patreon stuff too, because bitch got to earn some money. So, bitch, I mean, we have to earn some money, because I have to get I'm still getting new equipment and all kinds of things. So bitch I got bills, got to get paid, and going to work on the weekends and working 8 to 12 hours on your feet is not fun. Although it's great exercise. Don't get me wrong. It's great exercise. Because, the blood pressure and all. Because, I'm a member of the AAGP now. So I had to watch out for, I had to watch my blood pressure and make sure things are still working and all this other stuff. Although, because, with high blood pressure, sometimes things don't work like they used to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something's going to happen eventually.
Something's going to suffer along the way. You don't want that
one of these days.
Yeah, I know. You don't want that one thing to be like, oh my God, I really do like you. You don't want to be in that position where it's like, I really do like you. I just don't know what's going on. This has never happened to me before.
I really like you, but I think I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, I think so. Because you're going to blame it on the stroke. You can't get a heart out, but you're going to blame it on a stroke real quick. I'm having a stroke. That's what's happening. I smell burnt toast.
Wait, is that really what, if you smell burnt toast, you're having a stroke?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I think that's what it is. When they say when you smell burnt toast, when everything smells like burnt toast, you're having a stroke.
Now I'm all like, wait, do I have COVID? Let me see if I can smell something.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, yeah,
I know. Every time I take a bite of something, or I have a pretty good, when I quit smoking, my sense of smell went through the roof. I can literally smell. I have a pretty good sense of smell. Let's just say that. So, I woke up one morning and I thought I'm like, wait a minute, I don't smell anything. That's what's happening? Because I'm back out in the world working now, and every now and then I have to. When Charlotte does one of her shows, I have to go out and visit and all this other stuff. So, but I still keep my distance. I wear my mask. I wash my hands. I do all the things that you're supposed to do, and I try not to get out too much. You know what I'm saying? So, I might occasionally, and I hang out with the same group of people all the time. So, if one of them gets sick, I'm in trouble. So, we try to all, and one of those, when I hang out with my cousin, he is taking care of his mother. So, he has to be extra careful. So, I know I can hang out with him because he is extra careful. Because his mother is elderly, and if he gets sick, then she gets sick, and that could be really bad. So, and I'm not, and to be quite honest, I'm not even that worried about his mother. I worry more about him because he had health issues in the past. So I actually worry more about him than I worry about his mother. So, because that old woman, oh Lord, that woman could survive all kinds of disease. She's just that stubborn. So I worry more about him than I worry about her. So I know that he's not doing anything foolish. And between Spunkmeyer and my other friend, who barely leaves the house, his mother usually has to force him out of the house because he will not leave the house. He's like, Joel, I ain't getting out here. I am not getting these people are foolish. And I'm like, I understand.
Wait, who's that?
Oh, that's Miss Randy.
Oh.
Miss Randy. Mm-hmm. Miss Randy is the world's biggest hypochondriac. She won't mind me saying it because she's been on the show before, so she knows. But the fact of the matter is that she's the world's biggest hypochondriac, and I swear to God, she spends more time at bedtime than anybody I know. She goes to bedtime for every little thing. And this is with that time I was in the hospital because my blood pressure was too high. This is the girl who told me I'll have a good time in the hospital. I'm like, I know you said it too, and I'm like, I've got people sticking shit in me, pulling stuff out of me, putting stuff in me, and y'all talk about this is a good time. It is not a good time. Although I do have to say that to be quite honest, I had never felt more comfortable in my life. I had a nice room. I had TV. I had people who came in, and like I said, people took so much blood.
You're a waiter, so you're around a lot of people, but me and Randy, we aren't around a whole lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the hospital, we're like, oh yeah, we get social interaction that we don't normally get.
Yeah, exactly. And to be quite honest, even when I'm around people at work, I'm like, because these bitches will walk up on you in your face trying to talk to you, and I'm like, hold on now, step back. Put my mask on real, and they get offended too because they'll be. And these are my coworkers now.
Coworkers?
They get offended when I put my mask on when they try to talk to me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't understand something. I'm not fixing to go. I'm not going to nobody's hospital and nobody's emergency room. These emergency rooms are already packed to the brim with people. I'm not fixing to be the one, so y'all need to step back with all that. That's ridiculous. Right. I mean, they will literally get up in your face without a mask on, try to hug you and all this other stuff, and I'm like, get off. No, I love y'all. I really do. But y'all need to respect 6 feet. 6 feet. Respect the 6 feet. Because
especially now, it's kind of crazy.
I know. And, you know, I already have to deal with crazy-ass customers, as is. Which, by the way, actually not that crazy. You know, as long as you tell people they need to wear their masks when they walk to the bathroom and stuff, people are very... I have not had an issue with anybody going off or acting a fool or trying to come into the restaurant and knowing full well that they don't have a mask. I don't understand why you would go out to any place with no mask and think you're going to get into some place. You out of your mind. Ain't nobody letting you in. You do not have the right to tell a business what they can and cannot do with their business. If you do not like what that business is doing, you go someplace else. They will be just fine without you, and everybody else is following the rules. And all these people keep talking about they don't wear masks because I don't understand the religious. How are people using religion to be exempt from wearing a mask? I don't.
Are they using that?
I have seen that in the news quite a bit.
Where's your at? Like what area of town?
Oh, I'm off of Washington. I work in the Heights, where people are they're a little bit more liberal in the.
I think it's different in like because we're like inside the loop or we're like Houston proper. I think it's different in the city proper than it is outside the city.
Which is why I don't live
using their masks. I mean, for the most part.
Which is why
except bars are in.
Which is why I don't live outside of the city because those people out there, I
have no idea.
I feel like you get stupider the further away you get from the loop.
Well, look, it's a different mindset.
It is a completely different mindset. And, you know, you would think that the people who would be more afraid than anything, I mean, you got kids, you got family, you got grandparents, you got all these people you're surrounded by. You would think they would be more afraid than we are, but
But I think they have a more independent mindset than people in the community.
Yeah, but independent.
More of a trust of authority, too, because it's just more independent.
Yeah, but these are the same people who flout all this independence. But as soon as something goes down with the police, they're like, "Oh well, if you just you just follow what the police says, you wouldn't get into the problems that you get into. And I'm like, really, mister? I'm not wearing a mask. Really? Okay, we gon'.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. When people say stupid things like that, it just
people rationalize however they want to. They want to.
And it's getting to the point now that when people say dumb things to me, I just look at them and go, you know what? I don't. No, I'm not fixing to. I'm not one of those people who's going to raise up my phone and go, can you repeat that again? Because I need everybody in Facebook land to see this. I'm just going to look at you and keep right on walking.
Repeat.
I'm just going to look
at you. Have you ever Facebook Live somebody?
Huh?
Have you ever recorded Facebook Live like an incident that you?
I've seen incidences where I've seen incidences. I'm sorry. I've seen incidents where I saw a fight happen in the street, and everybody had their phone out, but nobody was stopping the fight. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all not gonna stop this fight, but everybody's got their phone out recording. Why? What is wrong with y'all?
And someone was like murdered, and everyone was just recording.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have stabbed that person in the heart right then and there, and y'all all recording. Nobody didn't do nothing. And like I said, in certain situations where people say stupid things to me, I just look at you and keep right on walking. I don't have time. I figure if you that stupid, you're not going to be
engage. There's no reason to engage.
There's no reason to engage. And you're probably not going to be around that much longer anyway. Because with that mindset, you're going to be dead in a week.
No, but they probably have 7 kids, so their kids are going to be around.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody around you is going to be dead in a week, so it doesn't really matter. But like I said, that happened. You would think that I would think that with all the stuff that I see on the internet, you would think that would happen to me every day. But I rarely see anything like that. I think that's just. I honestly do. I have not. Now, when we first reopened the restaurant back in June, there were some people who were acting foolish when they came in about the whole mask thing. But it might have been 1 or 2 people, and they would sit there and argue with you, spitting all in your face while you got a mask on, telling you it's my right to come in here and do whatever I want. And it's like having to explain to a person, this is not a government-owned business. This is a private business. And as a private business, I have rules that are posted at the front door for you to follow when you come in here. And if you can't follow the rules, then you can't come in here. It's simple as that. And if you don't like that, I don't have no problem with you going shopping down the road or going someplace else to eat or what have you, because I'm not fixing to deal with you. I'm not doing it. So if you feel the need to walk into some place and feel like you are entitled to do, you are not. You are walking into a private business that has the right to run its business any way that it chooses to. Just like you have the right to walk around with no mask on, they have the right to tell you you can't come into my place with no mask on. Simply, you are not. People get things mixed up. They forget that when you walk into a grocery store, you walk into a laundromat, you walk into a restaurant or what have you, that shit ain't owned by the government. These are private citizens who own their own business, and they just trying to stay afloat, and they don't want to see you. They don't want to stand there and argue with you about doing something as simple as wearing a mask. They would rather for you to sit down and spend your money. But the fact of the matter is that if you have to wear a mask, if you have to be 6 feet, you can't come in here. And grown-ass adults shouldn't be telling another grown-ass adult who feels entitled to walk into a private business and act like they are the shit, that you do not have the right to go walk into somebody else's business and tell them. You don't walk into somebody else's house and tell them how to run their house. That business owner, that's his house. You do not walk into his house and tell him how to run his house. I don't tell you how to raise your kids, because if I told you how to raise your kids, you'd get upset. So you don't walk into a private business and tell a private business how to run its business. If you don't want to be in that private business, trust me, there are 15 other businesses down the road you can go to. But I can guarantee you they all going to say the same thing, especially in the pandemic. And oh my God, we have a vaccine. We have 2 vaccines, maybe 3. There might be some more coming out, who knows, so far. And looks like people are starting to take the vaccine, and hopefully by 2022 we can be somewhat back to normal. I don't know what that normal is going to look like. That's going to be something to see. But I don't know what that normal is going to look like. I think that's going to be pretty interesting to see what that normal is going to look like, because I'm already, and the funny thing is that I'm already listening to people talk about, well, I'm not taking no goddamn vaccine. I don't know what's in that government trying to. I think like
4 out of 10 people are saying they don't want to take the vaccine.
Yeah, because they worried about, the entire summer. Yeah, go ahead.
Not vaccine, then you're not going to have herd mentality, and then eventually a mutation is going to get so outside.
Yeah, exactly.
So that the vaccine isn't going to work for it, so
it'll be useless, and we all just going to end up dead because 4 out of 10 people have decided that the government is trying to track them by putting like secret little microchips and all kinds of stuff. I literally had to tell somebody, you know what? That's the most silliest thing that the government would ever do, because you know what the easiest way to track you?
Say that to you?
Yeah. And I actually said, you know what the easiest way is to track you? With that device you got in your hand right now, which is called a cell phone. That is the easiest way. You think the government is going to go through all that trouble and spend billions and trillions of dollars?
Devices all over the place.
You think the government is going to spend billions and trillions of dollars to develop a nano chip to go into a vaccine so they can keep track of your dumb ass? I can guarantee you right now, the government has no interest in you whatsoever, unless you do something completely stupid. Which, you literally have to do something. You have to do something completely stupid. Flying a plane into a building completely stupid before the government even gives a shit about you. The government don't give a shit about you. They never have and they never will. So this whole idea of them putting nano chips and vaccines and all this other stuff, I literally looked at him and went, you might as well throw your cell phone away, your smart TV, your computer, your iPad, and all the other electronic devices that you have in your house, and go live in the woods somewhere, because the government can track you through all that shit if they wanted to, and it's as easy as pie. You think they spending that kind of? No, it's easy as pie. So don't sit up there and talk to me about some. So you've been taking vaccines your entire life for literally everything, from smallpox to. Do they have a vaccine for measles? Do they have a vaccine?
Well, I think. Right?
Yeah, for diphtheria and all this other stuff. You've been taking vaccines since you were a child, a baby. So don't sit up here and talk about some vaccine. The worst thing that can happen with that vaccine is it doesn't work. That's the worst thing that can happen. You might be allergic. There are some people who might be allergic to some of the ingredients in that, and that's fine.
There's a very rare case you could have a bad reaction.
Yeah. I took a flu shot, and my arm was sore for a week. And I'm like, okay, I didn't get the flu. So if my arm is sore for a week, it's sore for a week. So like I said, I don't have time to deal with when people say foolish things to me. I said what I said, and that's it. If you honestly think that the government is trying to track you through a vaccine, you are, child, where you been? What is wrong with you? You have every device known to man in your house that the government can track you through. You think they go, wow, that's a waste of money. That is literally a waste of money. Nobody goes anywhere without their cell phone. I have left the house to go to the store without my cell phone, and I never felt more naked. I'm like, oh my God, and I only walk 2 blocks down the street. So you can imagine. Nobody leaves it.
It doesn't really enter into their thought process.
No, so a lot of people, they're just scared, and I realize that sometimes people are scared and they don't know what to think of things.
They want some sort of way to understand what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
A way for it to make sense to them.
I had to go through an entire summer of people popping up in my Facebook Messenger on my Facebook page with all these ridiculous conspiracy theories about 5G. I'm like, I have 5G in my house. If that was the case, I'd be all kinds of dead, because I have 5G in my house.
Oh, you have 5G?
Yeah, I have Verizon 5G. I have the little satellite thing. Yes, I have 5G in my house. 5G internet.
What? So you can get you can get 4K stream then.
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can stream multiple devices in this apartment without a problem. I have streamed 15 different devices at one time, just having guests over for the show or what have you, because everybody's looking on their cell phones and everything else, using up my internet to do it. So yeah, I have not. Nobody's had a lag or any issues. So yeah, I have Verizon 5G. I'm not. By the way, they ain't paying me, so I'm not like endorsing it. All I'm saying is that it works for me. So, and I knew that I'd be having a lot of devices around. So I needed and it's super cheap. It's cheaper than Xfinity, and I don't have a lot of lag time with Xfinity. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about Comcast. They are, but yeah, I don't have any issues. So yes, I've had 5G, and all those people who sent me all that stuff in Messenger, who wasted my summer. I'm already terrified enough of this whole coronavirus thing. Now y'all keep adding one conspiracy theory after another, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't feel as scared as I was before because these people are idiots. Because people have become idiots sometimes, and I'm like, but I know after the summer that we had, I realized that people were scared. This is something no one had ever expected to see in our lifetime. No one had ever experienced anything like this. Unless you were born in the 1900s, this is something no one has ever seen before. So, yes, I can understand that people were terrified and people needed an explanation on why things were happening. I get that. But you have to be like I said, I'm terrified enough just to walk outside and go to the grocery store because I didn't know what was going to happen when I went to the grocery store, but I got to eat. And I didn't understand why everybody had to hog all the toilet paper. I honestly still don't understand. Why did everybody have to hog toilet paper? I still didn't know. That still confused me. What the hell was everybody? Why was everybody? I have seen articles on people who have hoarded toilet paper in their garage and selling it for 3 times the price online. I'm like, these motherfuckers here.
I mean, everyone needs toilet paper.
I mean, yeah, but I'm like,
everyone wipes their ass.
I know. This is not like dysentery or anything. You ain't walking around with chronic diarrhea. This is not a disease where you're walking around with and diarrhea is just shooting out everywhere and you got to have toilet paper. I
think because toilet paper, it never goes bad. So people like fucking really stocked up on it.
But you would think of all the things, all the things. And as a single man, I can buy 12 pack of toilet paper, and it can last me 2 or 3 months. I'm fine. So
yeah, toilet paper. Yeah, wow.
And as a man, I sit down once every blue moon. I'm not a lady who needs. I know the ladies, they need their toilet paper, and I know they need it. So I'm not poo-pooing, no pun intended, on the ladies. I know you need to have your toilet paper to keep everything nice and clean down there, but as a man, a 12-pack, how about one like every 2 or 3 months? And by the way, I eat a very high fiber diet, so everything's nice and clean. And as a gay man, it's especially important to keep everything nice and clean because, you know, we like to diddle-daddle around back there. So keeping everything nice and clean is kind of important. So
we did.
So
feels like a long.
So we're 30 minutes into the show, 34 minutes into the show. We're gonna take a little bit of a break. You know why? Because I'm starving. Like I said, I went up to see Charlotte at the Eagle because I wanted to talk to her about a couple of things that I wanted to do, and I wanted to show her some of the stuff that I was doing for the videos and all this other stuff. You know, I'm excited because this program is actually quite easy to use when it comes to video. I still have to work out the audio issues, and I'll get to that. And I watched a video where someone who had a Rodecaster actually hooked up their iPad to the Rodecaster, and they were able to play music outside while still and they did all. So I need to figure out what the fuck that was all about, because I just thought you just hooked it up and it was a done deal, but it seems like it's a little bit more complicated. So I'm gonna have to watch that video. But using this Switcher app it's the easiest thing ever. Once I watch the videos, I just played all day. I just had a good time just playing all day, doing all kinds of the intros and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I can't wait until I can actually sit there and I have my little iPad and, I'm in control of the whole shit. So it kind of gave me that feeling of control. You know what I'm saying? When you haven't had control when you can't control what's going on outside in the world, to have something that you can control kind of made me feel, it kind of raised my self-esteem a little bit, because it made me feel like because it's like I run this show and I know how I'm going to run this show. So, just finding any little thing that can give you some sense of control, because when you felt powerless all summer, it's nice to have a little bit of control back. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm going to take a bite of a hamburger and drink a little bit of soda, because I am starving. And we're going to be right back, and we're going to get into the next, and we're going to talk about 2021. I'm actually excited to see, and a couple of things that I want to end 2020 on is a couple of now all of us have spent an entire summer watching all kinds of crap on TV. I got all messed up in the Tiger King thing. I got all messed up in that. I don't even know. Usually this is the kind of shit that I leave to the side. If this were any other day, I would never have watched that documentary ever. I never would have watched it, because I would have been like,
but I didn't keep up with it.
Yeah, I watched, and like I said, once I start watching something, I gotta watch it all the way through the end. I just have that brain that's set up where if I start watching something, no matter how horrible, it has to be so horrible that I stop in the middle of it and go, I can't do this. No, I gotta go. But for the most part, once I start something, I gotta finish it, even if it's completely bad. So we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we watched over the summer, and some of the stuff that we're watching now that's going to carry us into 2021 that I think that I want to throw a couple of recommendations out of what you should be watching, because, like I said, people kept telling me to watch Tiger King, and I wanted to beat everybody's ass after that. So we're going to take a...
I thought it was supposed to be really good.
Oh, well... It was the first time that I had watched and thought to myself that if this virus does not eradicate the entire human race, I don't know what else to think. That's what I thought at the end of watching all 9 episodes of that show. And I'm like, this virus needs to just wipe the fuck out of humanity, because this is the worst shit I have ever. I can't believe human beings are this terrible. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to be right back at y'all. And for those of you who are watching on Facebook Live, don't get your hopes up. You're not going to watch a whole hour and a half of this show. You have to you have to listen to the podcast. The whole point is to get you to the podcast. So you have to listen to the podcast. So we're going to, Spunkmeyer and I are going to go take a break. And we'll be right back. And we're back, y'all. I had to scarf down a hamburger. It was delicious. You know how I have, as a member of the gay RP, so to speak, I've had to, I had to get a physical not too long ago, and I had a little bit of issues with the blood pressure, so I've been told to eat less sodium than I've had to before in the past, and I've been learning how to cook with a little less sodium, which I'm starting to enjoy cooking a lot more, because I'm learning how to be creative when it comes to cooking and eating the foods that I like to eat, while cutting back and having more control over what I eat. I think is, like I said, what we've been talking about for the last. Sorry. You're gonna hear. I'm sorry, y'all heard all of that. That's fine.
Wow.
Y'all heard all of that. But see, this is what you get when you eat a burger at 11 o'clock at night. But which is ironic because I'm talking about trying to stay in control, and I literally had a fast food burger. But I had, you know what? Here's the thing.
It's Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. There is, you know what? There is nothing wrong with every now and then. I think we as a society, everything just got out of hand when it comes to how we eat and everything else. And it's so much easier to run a Burger King to get a $5 Whopper with cheese than it is to go to the grocery store, buy the hamburger meat, season it, cooking it up, throwing it on the stove, and then adding all the stuff on the side. It's just so much easier to just run the Burger King to do it. So I think we just got out of hand when it came to how much fast food, and like I said, y'all going to know my age quite quickly. Fast food, when I was growing up, was a treat. You went to McDonald's maybe once or twice a month at best. You did not go to McDonald's 3 times a week. I don't understand people who go to fast food places 3 to 4 times a week. I just never understood that. It's supposed to be a treat every now and then. When I go to the grocery store and I buy things that are, you can throw it in a microwave and you don't really think about it because it's easier to do that kind of stuff and this and that. So having to have a little bit more control of what I eat has been quite interesting. Not fun at times because you go through the trouble of making a meal and then you take one bite and then you're like, oh God, I can't eat this. But that's experimentation. Cooking is experimentation. So once you get out there, and you know what I did, Chris? I started cooking with MSG. And
MSG.
And let me tell you something about cooking with MSG. It has been, I think it's been a lifesaver. I don't have to add as much salt to dishes when I use MSG. Actually, MSG is 60% less sodium than salt. That's a lot less sodium than salt. Although, and people are like, oh, well, when I tell people that I use MSG for cooking, they're like, but MSG has all these side effects and all this other stuff. Sweetie, you eat bananas, you eat tomatoes, you eat a lot of things. MSG is naturally occurring in most of the foods that you eat. So the fact of the matter is that to say that MSG is bad for you, literally thousands of scientists around the world who have been investigating MSG and its effects for the last 25 years have all stated the same thing. It is the safest seasoning ever. I mean, it is absolutely safe. I don't agree with
that, but we've had that argument already.
Yeah, it is absolutely safe.
I'm pretty sure oregano is safer than MSG.
Really? So it's cinnamon, when taken in the wrong and when used improperly, can be deadly.
How do they manufacture MSG?
MSG, it usually depends on the source. For the longest time, it came from, if I remember correctly, and I'm not 100% sure, if I remember correctly, seaweed. It usually came from seaweed. But also a lot of the salts that are out on the market now actually come from seaweed. So, I
don't use salt.
I've found that when I use MSG, I tend to use very little salt, if no salt at all. When you try to use salt, and like I said, because of all the processed foods, we're so used to a certain level of salt in foods that we overdo it. So, and I feel like I'm this is that little gay talk show, and here I am talking about diet and health. It's like you learn all this stuff when you've been sitting in the house, and this is all about 2020. And like I said, in 2020, with everybody being scared and everything else, and you're sequestered to your own home, and you have to learn how to, we couldn't eat out for a long time. A lot of restaurants weren't open. We had to learn how to basically take care of ourselves over the summer. Yes, we were still getting delivery from every now and then, but good Lord. By the time you pay all the delivery fees and everything else, a $10 hamburger costs you $30. No. No, you had to learn how to cook at home. So you spent more time at home learning how. And I think that in order to get through some of the things now, like I said, Spunkmeyer and a few other people helped me get through the summer because I was terrified literally of everything. And I needed to have those.
I really remember you being in that state. I mean, you must have masked it pretty well.
Well, I masked it pretty well because I didn't leave the house, except to go to the grocery store. I didn't leave the house that much. Marcus had to force me to go out for walks in the park, which helped a lot with my mental state. But for a while there, I wouldn't leave the house. I was terrified to leave the house. I only went to the grocery store when I had to go to the grocery store. And I made sure that I bought as much stuff in bulk as I possibly can so I wouldn't have to leave. I did not want to leave the house. And so when you've had that fear for quite some time and you could hear people's voices on the other side of the phone or see them on Zoom, or I think Zoom has been the best thing that ever happened to over the summer. Zoom. I mean, come on, we've all had these features on our phone for God knows how long. We've had FaceTime, we've had Zoom, we've had the other one whose name I forget right now. That's usually built into literally every computer. You just have to get the subscription for it. We've all had these things, and we never used them until COVID rolled around, and suddenly everybody is using these features that we've all had for quite some time. And it made us feel better about seeing another human being when you were terrified of being around other human beings. And even when going to the grocery store, a simple bumping somebody's cart, I mean, good Lord, I've never seen people freak out. Like 6 feet, stay 6 feet, 6 feet. I mean, literally, people were terrified, and I was one of those terrified people too. I mean, I might have masked it pretty well. And alcohol might have had a lot to do with it. But the fact of the matter is that, you wake up in the morning, you go watch TV, you make something to eat, you might step outside for a little fresh air, you go back inside, you don't see your neighbors because no one wants to leave the house. I think April was probably the worst because I don't recall seeing that. I saw people outside, and I would stand in the window and watch people walking around outside, but I was so terrified because I've been in the hospital in February for lung issues that I'm like, did I have COVID? I couldn't have had COVID. Did I have COVID? Because it felt like I had COVID. And my doctors are looking at me like, is it possible? And I'm like, I don't even think they had a test at the time. So... yeah, so there was
that in the hospital was in February?
The last time, yeah, because, I wasn't really in the hospital. I went to the emergency room, and they kept me, they only kept me there for like 6 or 7 hours. I had to be on a ventilator, though, because I couldn't breathe.
I thought you were overnight.
No, that was the when I had high blood pressure. The when they forced me to go to the hospital because I had high blood pressure. But the other thing was because it turned out that I had a upper lung infection or something. So, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And it was right when we were all hearing about COVID, but we weren't sure what was going on with it and what have you. And I didn't want to be the first. Nobody wants to be the first. Good Lord. And then my brother caught it, and then that put the fear of God in me real quick. Because
your brother had caught COVID?
Yeah. He had COVID, I think, in May, June. And he was in the hospital for 6 weeks. So, yeah, he had COVID. And I think
my first girlfriend in high school,
mm-hmm.
her father just died from COVID.
Mm-hmm. So, So we've all been. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. We've all. Oh, don't eat burgers at 11 o'clock. But we've all been affected by COVID in one way or another. So I'm just glad to see 2020 go. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in 2021. You know, and then
about that.
And then remember, at one point we're sitting around going, "What could possibly be worse?" And then we hear about murder hornets, and I'm like, "Oh, motherfucker! Just are you serious now? Let's just." Oh Lord, where's Jesus right now? Come on down and just take everybody away, because this is murder hornets. Now we're talking about murder hornets, and I'm like, are you fucking serious now? I just watched Tiger King. I had enough of humanity already, and then here we are, and we're dealing with murder hornets, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay, so
wait, that was like 6 months ago.
I know, and the funny thing is that we haven't heard about murder hornets since. It's like, oh my God.
It's been a continuous catastrophe.
Yeah, it's just been one catastrophe. And then this president here, I swear to God, if he does not go down in history as one of the worst, I don't know what to tell you. This could have been contained a long time ago if he could have been. He has a lot of life.
Head for sure.
Yeah, exactly. This shit could have.
I mean, he doesn't even like over 3,000 dead each day, and not a peep.
And then he catches COVID and acts like it's nothing, and I'm like, are you fucking serious with me right now? There are people who first of all didn't believe that COVID existed and that it was a hoax, and then you catch COVID and you're walking around here giving it to everybody in the White House. It's like everybody in the White House is getting COVID, but most people don't realize something. They get the best medical care in the world. So,
well, and then there's people that are literally dying from COVID, but they refuse to accept that it's actually real.
Exactly. So you know, this is, and like I said, this is the fear that people had over and like I said, and then you have what happened with George Floyd over the summer. And that just was the most ridiculous thing on the planet with George Floyd. And you have Black Lives Matter, and you have all this stuff going on, and it's just been a horrible year. I love that Match.com. Have you seen that Match.com commercial with the devil and he's dating 2020, and I'm like, that's about
the devil from. I'm going to say Fable. But it's not Fable.
It is Fable, isn't it? The Tom Cruise movie from like the 1980s.
Wait, is that Fable? No,
yeah.
It's called.
I think it's. Okay, we got devices. Let's just look it up.
It's called Fable. What is it called?
We got devices. Look it up.
It's not something else like Fable. It's like a synonym.
Let's look at Tom Cruise fantasy movie. Because we're gonna. The funny thing is that on this,
the Alien director.
The funny thing is that I tell people all the time when I bring up references from the past, I'm like, you need to Google that shit because I don't have time for it. So I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna money where my mouth is. Because I think it was called Fable. I think it was.
No, it's not Fable.
Let's see. Tom Cruise fantasy movie. Legend. It was Legend. You're right. It's Legend. Yeah. It's Legend. It popped right up. As soon as I said fantasy, like his heterosexuality, it said Legend. By the way, I don't want to get sued by Tom Cruise. Allegedly. I said allegedly. I threw in the word allegedly. Because I don't know. I don't have enough. We have some listeners out there, but not enough that Tom Cruise should be upset about me saying that he fantasy of he being heterosexual is a thing. So
he's too busy yelling at people for not taking breaking the COVID restrictions on his movie sets.
I know. So I'm just gonna let Tom Cruise make another Mission Impossible movie where he's doing his own. That man's gonna get himself killed. where he's doing another with that little 5'7" man is doing stunts again. You almost 60 years old, still running around. You know what's really funny to me? You know which actor of a certain age has now finally, because you know he's just completely given up. He doesn't give a shit anymore. And I saw him in that battery commercial, and I went, "You're the guy from."
Well, wait, well, battery commercial.
Yeah, I think it's what's his name from Die Hard?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis has just given up. I mean,
he's in a commercial?
He is in a commercial for a battery for AutoZone or somebody. That's supposed to be some kind of action.
Right.
I know, some kind of action commercial kind of thing. I'm like, this man is just here for the payday. That's it.
I saw him in Glass, and I felt like he was phoning it in. I just was like, yeah, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, he's just giving. I don't even know why he's just stop acting. If you have gotten to the point where you don't even give a shit anymore about what you're doing, and all you're doing is,
his shtick though is he's kind of not very emotional, kind of just not. He's kind of low key, right?
Is he low key? Because, like I said, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
He's very low key.
I'm sorry. It's just super sad when you think that this is a man who did Die Hard, and he's literally doing a battery commercial, and oh my God! And there's a battery called Die Hard, and he's doing it for an AutoZone or whatever commercial, and I'm like, is this where your career is now? I mean, you're just phoning it in. You just need to stop. Just Bruce Willis, retire and stop. Stop doing these and you know all he has.
I think it might be too. I mean, I'm sure you get addicted to that to that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. But it's just.
I mean, try and rationalize celebrities. I mean, being famous must drive you insane. So I can't. But
I guess it would. I mean, I don't know. I guess it would.
I hear a lot of stories of people say, "Oh, I was an extra on the set," and this celebrity, whoever it was, they said their demand was, "Oh, you can't look at them," and the person's like, "Oh, well, this sounds like such a crazy demand from a celebrity." But can you imagine if you're working on a set and every fucking extra on the set is just staring at you, going, "Oh my God, that's like Bruce Willis," or "Oh my God, that's Meryl Streep." Like that would drive you insane, and that would make you unable to function as a human.
I guess
so. That makes sense to me. If I was famous and I was on a set, I'd probably say, "No, you cannot look at me."
I don't know. I just, like I said, does it excuse bad behavior? I mean, is that an excuse for bad behavior? Though?
Centric behavior, yeah. I think so.
I mean, well, then maybe get out of the business. If you hate fame that much, get out of the business. Otherwise,
it's not about fame. It's about like trying to do your job. And if everyone is staring at you, going, "Oh, you're Bruce Willis," it knocks you out of the character you're trying to be in.
But part of your job is being famous. That is part of your job. I'm sorry.
Embody the character.
I'm sorry to say that, but that is true. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the most brilliant actors in the world, bar none. Never became super famous. I mean, you're not going to run into Daniel Day-Lewis on the street because most people wouldn't even know who he was if they ran into him on the street.
I think it's different if you're promoting the movie. It's different than when you're promoting the movie versus when you're actually making the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that, like I said, I'm not going to. I'm sorry. I'm not. To me, it's bad behavior. If you do not want to be famous, then you will do everything you possibly can not to be. There are a lot of actors out there. Laura Linney, for example, who is by far an amazing actress. But what do you know her in? I mean, she has done so many movies. She's been nominated for Oscars. She's an incredible actress. Is she famous? She is not. She does her job because that is what she loves to do. There's a difference. And I do not think that a Bruce Willis or a Meryl Streep I just don't see an excuse for it, and I don't. Honestly, I'm not gonna. I can't take your side on this one because I just don't see an excuse. I think that you're right, that when you're doing your job and you're doing it well, I think that you can be an actor, you can be successful, but you don't have to be famous. And I think that when you're a Bruce Willis, when you're a Bruce Willis, when you're a Meryl Streep, I'm going to put her in that class, but she knows how to handle fame, I think, better than most people. And she doesn't take it too seriously. And I don't think she takes herself too seriously. So I think she can handle it. But I think Bruce Willis takes himself way too seriously. And he's not.
I think he seems. He's kind of. I mean, he's kind of seems like a douche, quite honestly.
He's a self-important dick, and I can't condone that. There's one thing to do your job. There's another.
Yeah, I'm not condoning him being a dick. Don't put words.
No. I'm not putting words. Let's not, Spunkmeyer. We love each other. Let's not start an argument here. And we're not going to start an argument over a dick. Well, I mean, we can have an argument over a dick, but in the gay sense, not in this sense. Not in this sense. So, speaking of Hollywood and all this other stuff, what have you been watching? What is the thing that has made you smile or made you go, you know what, that was actually pretty good?
I mean, what was that? The holiday movie on Hulu with Kristen Thomas?
Kristen Stewart.
I like that a lot. It wasn't that great. I mean, honestly, as a movie, it was just okay. But I really liked it. Did you see it?
But it's a holiday movie, and it's a gay-themed holiday movie, which we haven't seen in quite some time. No, I haven't seen it because I'm not a big fan of holiday movies because they're usually just phone it in.
I'm not either. I hate them.
They're all holiday movies are the same. It's just a phone it in kind of thing.
This one, you know what? But this one actually, the acting was really good.
And I love the fact that Hallmark is trying to include more gay stories. But here's the problem with Hallmark's gay stories: hot white guy falls in love with hot white guy, and the end. And I'm like, but we've seen this. Every gay man has seen this for years. We don't need Hallmark Channel to do the same thing that we can see on all the gay channels. If you're going to do a holiday gay theme movie, can we please have some people throw some color in there somewhere? Throw something interesting in there. Throw someone who isn't like, doesn't have the perfect body or this and that and blah, 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 who fall in love. Yeah. All these pretty people falling in love with pretty people. It's ridiculous. And, I love the fact, like I said, I love that we're included, but I hate the fact that we're included in the same. All you're doing is replacing heterosexuals with gays, and you're calling pretty people. Yeah, and you're like throwing
pretty people who don't have to worry about money, and they have
exactly.
They have giant houses. And they're worried about this frivolous stuff.
Exactly. So, yeah, we've seen it. That's why I don't enjoy Hallmark. I don't have any. I'm not going to poo-poo on Hallmark. Because, there are some people out there who like all that romantic bullshit. I mean, there are some people who love it. It's not realistic, and I hate the fact that because people get so caught up in those movies, they think real life works that way, and real life does not work that way. Relationships are not easy. Relationships do not come at you.
Actually, I kind of think those movies, it's like a circle. Yeah. Like, I feel like they kind of propagate this idea that, you meet someone and you fall in love really fast and do it, like, get married really quickly. It doesn't. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, that's not the way real life works. And as much as we would like to think that we know that this is a fantasy, I think there's a lot of people who, especially those who call themselves hopeless romantics. I hate that term more than anything else. There's no such thing as a hopeless romantic. You watch all those ridiculous ass movies, and you think you need to do all that stuff. All those movies that we used to watch that we now have a problem with now. You know, I go back to movies that I used to watch when I was younger, and I used to, that was the most romantic thing ever. And then I watch them now, and I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker's a stalker. Or this person is messed up. You now watch, when you're looking at it with a fresh pair of eyes, and you know, like I said, I know that societal influences might have a little to do with the fact that I might watch things a little differently than I did before. But I also think age and experience has a lot to do with that more than societal influences. And I look at certain things from the past, which is why I'm not very, I'm not very nostalgic for a lot of the shows that I grew up watching, because I felt like it was a great time to watch them when I was in that place. But I'm in a different place now, so going back to them just doesn't work. When I try to go back and watch like old episodes of The Cosby Show or old episodes of Cheers, of Cheers or all that other stuff, and you know, it's like, you know, the humor I think it was perfect for that time. A lot of it is very dated. I think The Cosby Show was very dated, and I think it served its purpose because it showed a lot of. At the time, showed. I
think comedy dates itself very fast.
It dates itself very fast. So
like, when I watched Clueless again, I was like, "Wow, this seems very dated."
Yeah, I know. And although I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, I still go back and watch episodes of Golden Girls every now and then. I mean,
dude,
my God.
Golden Girls. What the hell?
What the hell? How is it that even after 20 to 30 years, I still will roll on the floor laughing?
I actually never liked it when it came out because I was like, why do I want to watch these old women?
Yeah, exactly. And now that, you know, when I watched it growing up, it was the most hilarious. I rolled on the floor. And I didn't. Dude,
if it came on, I would watch it.
Mm-hmm. I actually sat down with Charlotte on Thanksgiving Day, and we watched like 4 episodes. We watched 4 episodes, and he had never seen the show. Never seen the show.
Really? Wow.
And
did he like it?
Could not stop laughing. We were laughing.
It's funny.
He's like, Joel, this show is hilarious. I'm like, this show is almost 30 years old, and it is still the most hilarious show on the planet. I do not know why. It's just timeless. And like I said,
it's time.
I'm not. You would think that. I mean, some of the references are kind of dated, but it's still so hilarious. It is hilarious because it's like, you know, we all aspire. We all aspire to live with 3 other people when we got old, and we're gonna have all these adventures and all this other stuff and all this. And the gay community just ate it up. Because we know that. I think secretly we know. Excuse me. That like those characters. The possibility of us growing old alone was very real, and the idea that we would want to share that with 3 or 4 other people, or we would want to form friendships that were or bonds like that, so that when we got to a certain age, we wouldn't feel alone. I think that show really had an effect on how people saw age and how people saw life, because these are women who were still, I mean, they were in their 50s and 60s, and they're having sex, and they're running around, and they're living in adventurous lives, and they end up they have lots of boyfriends, and they're doing all this stuff, and it's like, I think there was a groundbreaking because it was the first time that we had seen people in this age group who were, 1, taken seriously, and 2, just funny, and they lived life, and they wanted to show people you can still live life after 50. And life after 50 can be even more fun than you could imagine. You have to put up with a lot of stuff and all this other stuff, but life after 50 can be just as fun as life after 20. So, and we've seen the studies where people in this age group are actually having more sex than they did when they were in their 20s and 30s because, you know, Viagra. So people are actually having a lot in 70s and 80s, still hobbling around nursing homes, boning each other. So, although I don't want to think about that, I don't want to think about that. But still, 70s and 80s, still running around boning each other. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But I have enjoyed, like I said, there's a lot of TV that I did enjoy in 2020. A lot of TV that I did binge watch. Most of it was completely completely forgettable. I think I watched more anime than I've ever watched in I don't know how many years. To the point where I actually got burned out on anime for the first time in my life, and I had to take a break from anime. Wow. I'm back to watching anime, but I had to take a little bit of a break because I'd watched so much of it. You know, I'd caught up with My Hero Academia, because there's one friend said you need to watch this show that was incredible, and I have to admit it was incredible. And I had watched this new show called Demon Slayer on Hulu, and I'm still waiting on hopefully a second season. Demon Slayer, new to something or other. It's incredible.
Wait, on who?
On Hulu. Mm-hmm. Or you can find it on Funimation. I actually got a Funimation account. I'm actually streaming my anime now because I figured I like watching anime and I'd rather just have a stream. And it was super cheap, so I'm like, what the hell? So
wait, what service is it?
Funimation. There's also Crunchyroll too, but Crunchyroll, a lot of it is subbed, and I'm not. And by the way, I know that you're not into. I know that anime is not a big deal for you, but for a lot of other of my friends, it's a huge deal.
Computer animation. Anime itself, I'm not as much into as computer animation. It's kind of hard to find computer animation.
But when it comes to the whole argument about which one is better, subbed or dubbed, I don't like to get involved in that. That's ridiculous. As long as you like anime, I don't give a shit if you like reading.
What do you like?
I honestly, it usually depends on the anime. There are some anime that I would rather watch subbed because I just think it works out better subbed. Naruto is one of those anime. I cannot stand the dubbed version. Cannot stand it. Cannot stand it. I can't stand that goddamn catchphrase. I cannot believe it. I just, for some reason, every time he says it, I just want to punch him in the face. But when I watched it with Japanese, in Japanese with subtitles, loved every minute of it. Loved every minute of it. Cowboy Bebop, on the other hand, I can't watch it subbed. I tried watching it subbed. It just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't go with the feel. I loved it dubbed was perfect for Cowboy Bebop. And Cowboy Bebop actually was was it the first anime? No, I take that back. The first anime I watched was Akira. And that was at the River Oaks Theater. That was the first one I watched. And that was very intense, and I didn't understand a lot of it, to be quite honest. I had to watch it like a couple more times to get what it was about. But the fact of the matter is, it was at the time, and I think this came out in the 90s. At the time, it was a very beautiful movie, very horrific movie, but it was.
I forget what the point of that was.
I still have a hard time. But the first time I saw it was at River Oaks Theater, and I said I need to watch this movie because I feel like there's something about this movie that I need to watch. So, and I saw it in the theater, and I have to say that it was I would love to watch anime in the theater again. I have not watched an anime in the theater in quite some time. And I also got into Izaku. I can't. Spirited Away, and the Witch's Castle, I think that's the name of it, and the one about the Wolf Princess,
Princess Mononoke.
Yes, Mononoke. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, and then Adult Swim came along, and I watched Cowboy Bebop and thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever watched. And then I watched Inuyasha, and I was head over heels. I was gone. I was gone. Japanese anime had just become my thing, so I was gone. So I enjoyed a lot of summer of that because it's just a great getaway from all the madness that's happening in the world. You can just like late at night in the dark, your favorite snacks. If you have it available, smoke a little weed and just watch anime all night and just feel, and the world just melts away and you don't have anything to worry about or any of that stuff. So yeah, so I got into a lot of it on Hulu, on Netflix, that kind of thing. I think one of my favorites is Kakeguru on Netflix, and that shit is amazing. It's about gambling. It's about a high school where gambling is your way up the social ladder, and it's just fucking amazing. I don't know if they're ever going to make a season 3. It's a Netflix original, so I have no idea. Netflix and anime, they kind of, I don't know. Netflix is always chopping off shows anyway, so I don't expect animation to last that long.
That's good anime, though.
Yeah, they do have some pretty good anime, but they never last. They never go past. They never go that far. Castlevania was one of my favorites during the summer too, and I loved Castlevania. Yeah, that was horrific. That ending. Did you see
Devil? What is it? Devilman Crybaby?
Yes. Oh my God. I watched it once and swore I would never watch it again, and I mean it. I will never watch it again. The ending was. I watched it all the way through.
And I was like, what?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I'm like, I think it was one of the most brilliant anime I've ever watched, but I will never watch it again. It's just one of those that you can't watch it a second time. There's no point.
Right.
One, you know what's going to happen. And two, it's just so dark and horrific that trying to sit through, I was emotionally, I just felt, I just never felt so emotionally. I just felt crappy afterwards. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know, in anime, you kind of always expect, you either expect the best or you get the worst. And this was the absolute worst. But I have told people, if you watch it, you need to watch it. It's amazing. But I will. It's pretty groundbreaking. But it's groundbreaking. It's amazing. But I will never watch it again. It's one of those movies. Right. It's just one of those that once you watch it, I don't understand. I don't know what kind of human being. I say this. I don't know what kind of human being could possibly watch that a second time. I honestly, I don't. I mean, it's that horrific that and you know, it has popped up on my Netflix a couple of times. And a couple of times I went, And then I just skipped over it and went to something. Because I'm like, I've already watched this. I can't go down this road again. So, yes. And I watched this. I watched all the episodes, and I did not have one lick of anything. I was so engrossed in it that there was no. I wanted to make sure I did not smoke any weed. I wanted to make sure I did not have any cocktails because I was so engrossed in it. It was by the third episode, I was already into it, and I did not want to be interrupted, and I did not want to leave I couldn't leave the television set because I needed to watch the whole thing. And like I said, it is one of those I will never watch again. And but I would recommend it like nothing in the world to people, but I will never watch it again. So, but I did watch, speaking of Christmas specials, I take it back. I did watch a Christmas special.
Which one?
I watched a Christmas special, and it starred Ben Della Creme and Jinx Monsoon from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm kind of bored. What the hell? Absolutely fantastic. Had a great time watching it. Cannot believe how unbelievably good it was. I mean, it was unbelievably good. It was one of the first Christmas specials that I watched that I went, I can watch this again and again. So if you haven't watched it, Chris, I recommend please watch it. It is. It's fucking hilarious. It's on Hulu. You can't. It should be the first thing that pops up. It popped up on my Hulu. It was the first thing. Now I know that Hulu does its whole algorithm where they try to figure out what you like to watch and all this other stuff. And it was one of the first. And I like to watch a lot of gay themes shit because I just like to see what the gays are doing. And
the Dinks holiday special.
Yes. The music is amazing. Oh my god! And the humor is just through the roof.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really funny. You should take a look at it. It's funny. And Sherman's Showcase, which is not a holiday special, but it's on IFC, and it's also on Hulu, and it's hilarious. If you grew up watching Soul Train, this is a parody of Soul Train that is just hilarious. The music is amazing. So the music parodies in this is some of the best I've ever heard. I think I'm gonna throw a little something your way, just a little something your way to the audience. I'm not gonna spoil it too much. But when you have a song called "Dropping It Low for Jesus," you're on your way. I lost it because I'm like, are these girls talking about dropping it low for Jesus at a club? Yes, yeah. So I would highly recommend. I think I lost. Are you there? Yeah, I think I lost. Well, we're pretty much almost done with the show. I think I pretty much lost Chris there because I think my battery died. Let me see if I can bring him back up. I might be able to bring him back up. But I think I might have lost Mr. Spunkmeyer Brown there. Let me see. Y'all have been listening to That Little Gay Talk Show, and I'm one of your hosts, Joel Tatum, and we've had a really good time having you listening to our show. Of course, you can always catch our show on any of the podcasting and music networks, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, that kind of stuff. Look us up on our Facebook page, or on our Instagram page, and of course on our Twitter page. If you can find That Little Gay Talk Show, it's on all those, so you'll be able to find us. Once again, I just want to give out a shout out to all the people that have given us likes on our page, and somewhere I have it written down. Actually, I do have it written down. So I just want to give a shout out to a few people who left us a like on our Facebook page. Let's say hello to Petronilo Aguilar, Teleforo Soto, Valerie Crawford, Lillian Ace, and Sandra L. Goforth. I love that name. It sounds like a drag name. Sandra L. Goforth. Go forth into the world, Sandra. Just go forth. So I wanted to give a shout out to all those people who gave us a like on our Facebook page, who might have listened to a few episodes that that I was promoting because we took a break last week because, like I said, Charlotte has been super busy doing a lot of drag and putting her drag out there. Let me see if I can bring Chris back up here. If I can bring Spunkmeyer back. I think I can bring Spunkmeyer back. Spunkmeyer Brown, where are you, Spunkmeyer Brown? Spunkmeyer Brown. Spunkmeyer Brown. Spunkmeyer Brown. Here we go. Let's see if I can bring him back up. See if he's not dropping it low for Jesus. Oh, good Lord. Let's see what happened. Let's see if we can bring him back up, y'all. I think we can bring him back up. Spunkmeyer, are you there? What had happened was the phone died. Yeah, the phone died, and I'm not really getting you in really clear. So I'm going to. We're pretty much done, Spunkmeyer. Yeah, we're pretty much done. So I'm just going to end it here. And I wanted to thank you, Spunkmeyer, for being on the show. Yeah, my pleasure. And y'all will probably hear from Spunkmeyer in 2021 sometime when this either as maybe another guest host or maybe he might sub for when Miss Charlotte is out doing other projects and this and that. So y'all will hear from Spunkmeyer again, and you can find Spunkmeyer Brown on Instagram, on Facebook, and where else are you, Spunkmeyer? Okay, yeah, on Instagram and on Facebook. So y'all will be able to keep up with him and what's going on with him. So if you want to send him a shout out and say hello and thank him for being on the show as well. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I want y'all to go into 2021 with the belief that shit's gonna get better, because that's what I'm going into it. Take back control of your lives. Take back control of who you are and love who you are. And let's all call it a day. So, bye, Spunkmeyer. I don't know. Y'all not going to be able to hear him. So, all right. So, so we'll catch up with him again another time. And we'll catch up with y'all next week. So, have a good Christmas. Have a good Christmas, y'all, and we will have this conversation again before New Year's rolls around, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.